Hi Stitchy friends, it's Kathy with Sew and Sews, and I'm here to do my monthly update. This is Flosstube number 18, and I think today's November 8th. I'm not sure, I lose track of the days, but I got all my gifts done for the Virginia Dying to Stitch retreat and got those out of the way. The month of October was so busy. Before I went to the retreat at Provo, Utah, I was busy getting things made for my table mates and just, getting all, I had class projects to do before I could go, so I was working on those. Anyway, I had a great time, and I think I'm going to start out talking about the Under the Garden Moon retreat. Amy McClellan, who owns Under the Garden Moon business, is an embroidery designer. She designs wool applique, quilting type things. She's also started designing cross stitch. So she just is a woman of many talents and so nice and so friendly. And she put on a wonderful retreat. It's called the Knots and Needles Retreat. And we were in the historic city library in Provo, Utah, which was wonderful. We had underground parking right by the elevator. We were on the 3rd floor in the ballroom, which was a huge, light, big room with plenty of room for all the tables and all the stuff. It had floor-to-ceiling windows. The light was really good. The classrooms were separate, so when we went for classes, you'd go to a separate room, and it was really great. I brought the schedule to show you. It is different than a lot of cross stitch retreats. It's very scheduled. It's classes, and you choose classes beforehand that you want to take. I had chosen 2, and then after I got there, I saw some of the other class projects, so I signed up for 2 more. But the classes were each session was 3 hours long, so you had plenty of time to figure out what you were doing. Some of the things had to be done before you got there, and then you had plenty of time to figure out how to put them together and finish them. The classes were great. All 4 of the ones I took were excellent. I learned something in every class. And every day, Amy would give us a gift. I'm going to start out with this first one. Her husband, Carrie McClellan, made all of us one of these beautiful wooden boxes. You can put your stitchy things in it. They're just beautiful. You can paint them or stain them or decorate them, whatever you want to do. And so I really appreciated that. My husband's a woodworker, as you know, so that was a lot of fun to receive. And then she gave little gifts every day. There was this, and they always came packaged really cute, and cute little packages with little ribbons and things on them. Actually, I think this goes to another one. Yep, that was that one. But this is a little magnetic needle holder. I always have a hard time getting it open because my fingers don't work. There we go. So it's got a magnet inside that your needles stick to, and it's got, they all had a cute design on the top. So that was, I think, the first day, maybe. I don't know what order these were in. One day was this lead pencil, and it's actually red lead. It writes in red. That's kind of different. Another one was this really cute little ceramic bowl with felted ball in it and pins and a little pin cushion. They were all packaged so nicely. They were so cute. This has a cute little tag on it, the little red bird. Very cute. And then the last day, she gave us this kit for a stitcher's mat. And it is just adorable. It's about, 11.5 by 19 inches. So it's perfect to kind of stake out your place at the table when you're at a retreat. It came with everything to make it. This is 10 count Aida. So it's a quick stitch. This is 10 count Aida here in the middle, and then there's a piece of velvet to put your threads on. There's a pocket here, there's a pocket here and here, and it lays flat. I think it takes a ½ yard of whatever print you want to do. I have kind of aqua velvet, so I'll match my fabric to the velvet. But the whole kit, everything's there, the needle for the Aida, everything. So that was really fun. And Amy, of course, designed this by Under the Garden Moon. So that was super fun. And the gal that was the designer for the cross stitch was Wendy from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy Petrus. And she gave us this project bag. She said she got it on Amazon. And they were, I think, 3 or 4 different colors. I chose this color. But it's a mesh. It has handles, obviously. It has a zipper pocket in the front. I have my threads in here. And then a zipper pocket in the top. I'll get out the whole kit here. And it was just done so well. So, thank you, Wendy. This was the reproduction sampler that she did for us, 1857 quilt block sampler. And then she included 3 more patterns adapted from that sampler. I started working on this little pin pillow, which she included the chenille for the pin pillow. And I got about that far in class. It was interesting because most of the people there weren't cross stitchers necessarily. They were quilters or knitters or crocheters, or they did all kinds of needlework. So in Wendy's class, she spent 3 hours teaching people how to stitch on linen. Most people had never stitched on linen before, so that was fun, getting everybody started on linen. And most people were starting on this little pin pillow. But the colors, here's the threads. She had the threads all on rings with this really cute little quilt block on a little wood medallion for the thread bling. These are the colors. Real pretty kind of corals and tealy greens and a yellow and a gray. It's really a pretty combination. So those, she said, would be released probably next August at the virtual market. And so you can look for those there. She also gave us this kit called Keeping You in Stitches, which was the theme of the retreat, Keeping You in Stitches. And every time Amy got up to announce something or talk to us, she would tell a joke to keep us in stitches. So that was fun. This one has tomatoes and like a sampler part, and then it says Keeping You in Stitches. So this was designed for the retreat, and it'll probably be out next August as well. And it came with the linen and the threads, everything you need to stitch it. It could be done in 3 separate little pillows or 1 long one, but it's a really darling design. I love it. Thanks, Wendy. So then, the classes I took were a new technique for hand applique that was really nice, using I think it's a newer product. It's a paper that you adhere. Anyway, it's hard to explain without doing it. It's just a different technique for hand applique using cotton fabric, quilting fabric, and I really enjoyed learning about that. I took a crochet class, even though I knew how to crochet. I took a class called Granny's Gone Wild, and we were making granny squares, and I learned several things, like the correct way to make granny squares. I was making them wrong, and I was, they looked right, but I wasn't really doing the technique right. I learned a better way to add a new color and work my ends in as I go. And there were just several things that I learned. I had always wondered why at the beginning of crochet you chain two and then do double crochets. And for some reason that never made sense to me, because once you get going, you don't do that. You just do it at the very beginning. And it's because you have to chain two to get the height that you need to do the double crochets, so it all comes out even. Otherwise, you'd be starting down here and then doing a double crochet, and you'd have a funny angle. So Amy answered that question for me. I was glad to hear the answer. That had always bothered me. I didn't know why I had to do that. Let's see what else. Oh, I took this class. We did a lot of preparation for this at home. It's a hatched and patched bag. Her name is Annie Downs. She's in Australia, and it's called the Love to Sew Drawstring Bag. So before we got there, we didn't have the pattern, but they told us that we needed to make 42 side panels with 48 little squares in them. So I had made these at home, and these are the backs. The way I do them, I learned a technique where you can take iron-on fusible interfacing, just a lightweight interfacing, and lay all your squares out on the interfacing just next to each other. Like if these were my squares and I was laying them down, I just put them next to each other. And so you figure out what you want them to look like and just lay all the squares down next to each other, and then iron them to the interfacing. Then when you sew, you fold, well, it's this side, you fold the whole, see, they're stuck to the interfacing, so you fold them over where they meet and sew the whole seam down, and you go all the way through one way and then you go back the other way, and you come out with perfect points because they're held down by the interfacing, and you don't have to sew all these tiny little squares together. They started out 1.5 inch, so they're 1 inch squares, and those are hard to sew and get them to come out even. So that was just a trick I learned, and from, I believe it was Bumbleberry Stitches, which is a cross stitch video, Flosstube, from a gal in England. And so these are my side panels. And then when we got there, we got the pattern to make the front and back pattern. And so this is Love to Sew. See, I got this done in class, most of it. I had a little bit left. But it's wool applique. And we applique all this down. And then the other side is this embroidery. And I still have to finish putting, there's little French knots for the flowers, but it says Stitching with Friends is the perfect day. So that was some embroidery we did. And these are scattered all over, and then they have a little French knot for the flower. So I still need to finish this, then I can sew it all together and make it into the bag. But that was really fun. This is my fabric for my lining, and it matches one of the fabrics in the side. The other thing, I told you about a project roll that I showed you a project roll that I had made. And she has another pattern for a project roll from Hatched and Patched. And so I had started this before I got into the class for the drawstring bag, and I had enough fabric from the project roll to make the drawstring bag match with the same fabric. So I'm not done with the project roll, but I have the embroidery done on the bottom. It's pretty cute. And then that's the outside of the project roll. So then I still have to put some batting in the middle. I have a lining piece here. You put batting in the middle and sew that together and turn it and then you attach it to a mailing tube. Some people use a pool noodle. I use a mailing tube, and then you can roll it up and roll your projects inside to keep them all nice and clean and flat. So when I get this done, I'll have a project roll and the little drawstring bag that matches. So that was kind of fun. Let's see, what next do I have? I think that's everything from the garden, Under the Garden Moon retreat. It's a great retreat if you're interested in going to a retreat that's just not cross stitch, that you learn a lot of different hand sewing techniques. It is wonderful because they have a variety of classes. And then Amy asked if I would teach a class next year, and I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I think it might be on cross stitch finishing, different ways to finish cross stitch, just ideas for finishing other than just framing. So I've been thinking about it. We have a whole year, so we'll talk about that later. But let's see. Oh, I know. The retreat went Monday through Thursday, and Friday on my way home, I went through Ogden, and I had messaged Lori Wilson of Thread Milk Designs, and she got her friend Sandy Spencer, and we met at Shepherd's Bush on my way home. And it was so fun. I'd never met them in person before, so I met them in person. We shopped a little bit at Shepherd's Bush, and then we went to lunch. And then they took me to Jill Rensel Framing Studio for a field trip, and that was really fun. Oh my goodness, that place is amazing. But I got a gift from Lori and Sandy. They gave me this really, really sweet tomato pillow to go with my tomato display back there. And from Lori and from Sandy, this is a design Sandy did, and it's a reproduction. They gave me these wonderful patterns. This one is Endeavor to Improve, which is so cute. You know, that might go on the top of my box. Ha! That might fit right on the top of the box we got at the Garden Moon, Under the Garden Moon retreat. I just realized that. And then she gave me Cozy Christmas Cottage. I want to do this Noel first, and the snowflakes and the house and the trees. They're so cute. And then the last one was Turkey Tavern. And I've already done one of these little pillows. I'll show you. And they're all really cute. I don't know if you can see them, but they're adorable. So thank you, girls, so much. It was so fun to meet them in person. And then when we went to Rensel Studios, they have a box on the floor, and they take their little leftover pieces of molding and make them into little frames. And there's a sign there that says, "Free, take one." Well, I was going through this whole box of frames, and I found these two, and I couldn't decide which one I wanted. And the gal that was working there that day just said, "Oh, take them both. You can have them both." So I got these two wonderful frames. This one has a little narrow hole, and this one has a little square. So I have to come up with a design that'll fit in these. That'll be really cute. They are huge, chunky frames. They're heavy. But oh my goodness, their frames and their moldings are unbelievable. I had to take pictures of all their samples of moldings to bring home and show my husband, because he does build me frames, but the moldings are fabulous. And they get them from all over the world, Italy, and they're just beautiful. So I did get a lot of finishing. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot two of my gifts from Thread Milk Designs. Christmas Thread Milk thread holders, and some just kind of everyday ones that look like the ends of thread spools. And these are the milk caps. They are so adorable. Thank you, Lori. So fun. So I have those two. Okay. Oh, I know. I can show you now what I made for the retreat. It was this little bitty tomato, and you can either use salt cellars or you can get these little jars on Amazon. They're called Dappen jars, and people use them. The acrylic nail people use them to mix their acrylic in when you get your nails done. And I just made these little tomatoes and stuck them in there. And then it had a little flag in it that said Dying to Stitch Retreat 2023 that I stuck in there on a pin. So this is what I made 120 of. And then I had a couple questions from last time that I have my little note here, I better look at it, that I should have brought it up. The crow mat that my mother made for me out of wool, that is called Redware Crow Wool Table Mat by the Primitive Gatherings. And I went online, and Hobby House Needleworks has them if you want to order from Hobby House. And then someone asked me, I made waxers for everyone at the retreat. This one Wendy Petrus gave us. But I made waxers for everybody, and one of my viewers asked what a waxer was and how you would use that. So I have some thread here, and this is a beeswax waxer. And what I use, when I use it, I just put my thumb on it like this and drag it across the edge, and I just kind of wax the two ends, maybe 2 inches on each end, because that's what goes in and out of your fabric, and gets knotted and frayed. It's usually the short end that's in your needle, and because you pull it through the fabric so many times, it gets frayed. So if you just wax the end of it, then that protects it and it doesn't knot as bad. Now you can put the wax on the entire thread if you want. One thing I have noticed, it straightens it out. It doesn't knot nearly as bad, but it can change the color of your floss. It darkens it a little bit. And you don't want to get a lot on there. You just want to be able to feel it. So just press it with your thumb and pull against the wax when you do it. But that's what a waxer is, and that's how you use it. So it's up to you if you want to do the whole thread or if you just want to do the ends. It just makes the floss easier to use. So that is that. I did get some happy mail. Let me show that very carefully. I got a package from Costa Rica, from a viewer in Costa Rica, and she sent me, her name is Laura Vargas, and she sent me a cute little note. And all right, what did I do with it? Oh my goodness, I don't know where. She sent me a wonderful scissor fob. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. I was saving it to put on scissors until I showed it. So there it is. It is adorable. She did a great job on it. Red, white, and blue colors. I love it. And she also sent me this little bag of candy, and she had given these out at a retreat. These were her retreat gifts for a retreat, and she sent me one. And now I can eat the candy and put the scissor fob on my scissors. It's so cute. It has the cutest little scissor charm at the bottom. So thank you, Laura. That was so nice of you. I really appreciate it. I also got my copy. This is the Dwelling Place by Teresa Kogut, and this was the model that I stitched. So that's what I stitched for her this year. I marked a spot here. She signed it for me. Thank you, Kathy, for stitching this model for me, Teresa Kogut. So that's always fun when I get my copy of the book. And she autographs them for me. So thanks, Teresa. It was fun to stitch. It's a big one, but it's beautiful. There are other little projects in here. There's a biscornu, a little pillow with the cartouche in it, and another pillow with one of, I think it's this flower right here. But you could make a drum out of, you know, a few things in there. You can pull a lot out of it. It's just a beautiful pattern, and it was fun to stitch. The border is all stars and then flowers, and it was a really fun one. The birds are fun. The whole thing is fun. I had a good time with that. So thanks, Teresa. And here's your sneak peek. She sent me a new one to stitch for her. There's no picture. I'm not going to show you a picture. That's the linen, and that's the colors, and I have about a year to do it, so it's not real big. It's 145 by 145. It's on, let me see what the linen is. I don't have a picture of it, so I can't show you even if I did. It's on 40 Count Morning Coffee by X Jude Designs, which is a really pretty linen, and it goes real well with those colors. So I'll be starting that pretty soon for Teresa. So that's fun. Not nearly as big. I told her I couldn't do another huge one like after that. That last one about killed me. So let's get into what have I been stitching. I'm going to move a couple things out of the way here. I did a lot of finishes, and you saw the finished stitching but didn't see the final finishes. So the first one I have is this little one by Brenda Gervais. It's called On Pins and Pumpkins, and I had it like half stuffed the last time I showed you. I got it stuffed, and I bought a little pumpkin and took the stem off of it. So this is a fun one. It just stands up when you get it. You have to kind of, I put walnut shells in like up to here. So you have to kind of squish it down and flatten the bottom to make it stand up. And you just sew it around the side with another piece of linen and then make a slit. And I had this little piece of wool, so I just went over it with the wool when after I got it done stuffing. And then you glue the top, the stem to the top. So that's how that one turned out. I really like it. It's pretty cute. All of Brenda's designs are really cute. So there is that one. I got it finished. Then I'm running out of room here. I finished this little gal. Where is her pattern? This one is 1, 2, 3 citri. I can't say it. It means pumpkin. Some nice person in the comments told me it meant pumpkin. So it's a tra-la-la pattern, and this is the little pillow finish I did. I had some, it's actually more of a red, but it kind of looks rusty and matches the color of the little pumpkin girl in her little striped pants. So I just made it to a little pillow. I like to do Brenda's finish style, where you make the seam down the middle and you can leave an opening and stuff in the back and stitch this shut. That way you don't have a funny place in the bottom or the side. I always pull it up funny when I stitch it shut, so I like doing it down the back. It's a lot straighter, but this turned out really cute, I thought. That's a cute little pattern. So I finished that. Then I had this little guy finished. My husband made me a little ruler box for her. She stitched 1/1 on 25 count Lugana. And this is the pattern. I downloaded it from Stitching with the Housewives, and her name is Claudette Crow. So you can make it bigger if you want. I just like teeny tiny things, and I thought she just turned out really cute because she's so tiny. So I got that one finished. Then this one I had been putting off finishing because I was scared to do it. And it was easy. I should have known. Brenda has such great instructions. This is Autumn Gatherings by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I just followed her directions and it came out perfectly. I have this little flower on the back. And I'll kind of get these out of the way. These are fun. I have a winter gatherings that I need to stitch. But they're so tiny and delicate, and it makes this little tiny basket. So there is mine, my little finish of that. Then I stitched this Autumn Splendor, which is a new one this fall by Brenda at With Thy Needle and Thread. And I found a cute little frame to put it in at Hobby Lobby, and it was 50% off, so it was a great deal. I just thought it turned out really cute. A little dinky frame, and it's you stitch these stripes that they look like wallpaper to me, and it's just a little crow in a vase or a whatever bowl with some bittersweet, and I think this might be a strawberry. Anyway, that one turned out cute. I really like it. Then I did another Top of the Tin by Linda Van Osdell. This is Top of the Tin too, and it turned out really cute. It was just a little Quaker with 3 colors. And it's a really fast stitch, and it finishes up really cute on a tin. I still need to, I think I'll put some ribbon around it, and I want to make, I need to wash it out, make just a little pin pillow or something to go inside. But these are fast and fun. They'd make great little gifts for people. And you can get them from Linda Van Osdell at Van Accessible. There's all her stuff if you want to write it down. They're very cute, real cute patterns. And she's going to keep coming out with more of them, I think. Then I fully finished my Plum Street Samplers Olga's Stocking, which is very fun. I made it into the stocking. Oh, maybe if I come back here, you can see the whole thing. Yeah, it is a fun one to stitch, and it went really fast. I thought it was going to take forever. I just had this plaid that I put on the back, and I just love it. It's really fun one to stitch. There's all kinds of little teeny things. It was really easy to make into a stocking. I watched a video by Vonna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher. If you ever want to see wonderful finishing videos, you need to watch Vonna, the Twisted Stitcher. And just go on Google and Google it, and she shows you how to make all kinds of things. And this was really easy. I lined it with muslin, so it's all lined. And it came out great. So that one's all finished. I've had it hanging up downstairs. And the last fully finish, this is When Pumpkins Glow, which is another new one out this year from With Thy Needle and Thread. And I've got it fully finished here. This board came from Chantel 141, and that's what it's finished on in the picture on the pattern, is this board. I haven't glued the board in the slot yet. I'll get this out of the way so you can see it. There's magic in the night when pumpkins glow with candlelight. And the little pumpkin people are so cute, and the little birds. It was a fun one to do. So then you get this stand. See, it just sits in here. I need to glue it in there, I think, because it kind of wobbles. But then you've got a stand to put it on. It's the perfect size and shape. I just stained mine, so it's just brown. And put a little rickrack around it, and a little bow at the top. And there you go. That's a fun one. Okay, let's see. Then I have several things that I started and finished in October, but they aren't fully finished. I made some strawberries. The first three I made are from Deck the Halls by Blackbird Designs, and I did them on the called for linen. So it's on colored linen. I think this one's called Sanguine, and this is the first little strawberry. I've got them sewed up, but I haven't stuffed them or put the tops on yet. I didn't have time to get those done before today. So there's that one, and then this one. It's on picture this plus fabric. I think it's called Opal. It's a cute one. It's a little bird. So next video I'll have these all finished and I can show you how I did the tops of them. But they are fun. They're quick stitches. They're great for gifts because you can stitch them up really quick. And this is a Christmas cactus. And it's just really pretty colors. There you can kind of see. So all you do is make like a half circle and sew up one side. And then I'll gather the top. I'll stuff it. And a lot of people say to put yarn in the point, that it will stay better. I'll just cut a piece of yarn and stick it down in there and in the point real tight, and then stuff it with fiberfill. And then you just gather around the edge and pull it tight. And then you can use lace or buttons or wool, flower shapes or round shapes, whatever you want to put on the top to decorate the top. So I'll show you that next time when I get those done. I also worked on this Erica Michaels Wicked Cute is what it's called. And this is 32 count Nocturne linen from Picture This Plus. And it's blue, obviously. And I'll go against this dark background. Maybe you can see it better. That's this little witch. It just says Wicked Cute on it, and it is really adorable. It's got some sparkly cryneck. This blue is sparkly. Her glasses and things are sparkly. It's really cute. I like doing strawberries because they're fun. So I'll show you those when I get them fully finished on my next video. And then you've seen this. This was stitched on 36 count Ren by Picture This Plus. This is Witch Hazel sampler from With Thy Needle and Thread. And I think I showed it to you all stitched. But I did get the paper. You use some, oops, there's a thread on there. You use some musical paper and cut out scallops and put it on. So it's ready to be framed. My husband is still building fence, so he hasn't had time to make me a frame. But now I have the measurements that he needs for the frame. So as soon as he has time, he's going to make the frame for that. So that one's ready to go. And then I started and finished Heart and Hand Harvest Tiny Town, which is a fun one. I'm going to make it into a drum. I used all the called for DMC because I didn't have all the called for overdyed thread, but it turned out really cute. There's a lot of stitching in these tiny towns. This is solid. It took me about probably 6 days, 7 days to get it stitched. So I will make it into a drum. It's going to be a bigger drum than I thought from looking at the picture. It's going to be like that big around because this will be the seam at the end where the ends meet. But it's going to be probably 5 inches in diameter. But it just stitches up really cute. There's a cute little owl over here and a chicken down here, a blackbird or a crow. It's just a fun one. I enjoyed stitching it. So that one I started and finished. I've been working on my Christmas stocking. It was this one from Shepherd's Bush called Martha. It's for me. I made one for my husband last year, so I thought I needed to make my own. And I've got it finished. I just need to make it into a stocking. I got all the charms and beads and stuff put on it the other night. That takes quite a while. But this was stitched on 18 count natural linen over 2 with number 5 DMC pearl cotton. And the Shepherd's Bush has all the colors. There's even overdyed Weeks Dye Works number 5 pearl cotton. You can see some of the variegation in the little trees, and her dress shows it a little bit. But this was really fun to stitch. It's fun to put all the charms and things on because that kind of finishes it all off. And I really enjoyed it. So I'll follow Vanna's tutorial again and make this into a stocking. It'll have piping around the edges, which is a little harder, but it's not difficult when you watch Vanna's tutorial. So I'll show you how that turns out next month. So, and as of right this moment, I don't have any whips. I've got everything finished that I was making. So that pretty much sums up what I did in October. I do have a giveaway this time. Wendy from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy donated one of these patterns. It's one of her little sampler series. They fit in a 5x7 frame. She donated this as a giveaway for my channel. So thanks, Wendy. And if you just want to use the word sampler in your comment, you'll be entered. Don't use the word win or giveaway or prize or anything like that. That'll attract the bots. But just use the word sampler, and I will pick a winner for next video. So I have that one from Wendy, and then I purchased Christmas Tiny Town and came home and realized I already had Christmas Tiny Town. So I'm going to give this away. It's a brand new chart. It does include some little snowflake buttons that you'll need to finish with. Whoops, I just showed the pattern. Sorry. Anyway, it does include the buttons, and it's very cute. I'll hold it this way so you can kind of see. So it's like the harvest one I just did, only with the Christmas theme, and I'll be doing that this coming month for Christmas. So if you want this one, just put the word Christmas. So we have Christmas or sampler for the giveaway. All right, well, I think that's all I have to talk about. I don't see anything hanging around here that I have forgotten. I have piles and piles of stuff. So I'll be back in about a month with my November update. I don't have any more retreats to go to the rest of the year. I'm going to meet Nancy tomorrow, and we have some stuff we need to exchange. It's hard when we don't see each other very often because we always have things we want to give each other. So I'll be seeing Nancy tomorrow. I'll tell her hi for y'all. And she's got to come to Twin Falls for run a bunch of errands, and I'm heading in there for lunch as well. So I will meet up with her, and we'll trade stuff cute stuff, I'm sure. So until next time, everybody have happy stitching hours and watch lots of Flosstube. And it's getting colder. This morning when I took the dog for a walk, it was 27 degrees. So it was very frosty and chilly, which I love. So it is getting colder. Of course, now with the time change, it's getting dark earlier, which makes more time for evening stitching. So everybody stay well and happy stitching, and I will see you next time. Have a great month. Oh, happy Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you beforehand. Everyone have a very blessed Thanksgiving with your families, and I will see you probably around the 1st of December. Bye now.